What's going on YouTube? Best Coast Collector here with another video. Today I have a mail day. Being in current situation with COVID and we're all kind of at home, I've been, like many others, spending quite a bit of time scouring eBay and various other websites looking for specific cards, PC cards, investment cards, and various other sports card options. And today I just kind of want to share with you a couple of the cards that I've received recently, and we can kind of talk through each of them, my mindset on why I purchased them and why I'm going hunting down for these certain specific cards. And I'm excited because it's a couple of them are the most I've spent on an individual card to date. A lot of my thought process with one of these players is when evaluating the current market and how, I guess, just the overall frenzy for Zion Williamson, I wanted to, instead of trying to compete in a sense in an incredibly oversaturated market that is Zion Williamson rookie cards, I wanted to evaluate the market and see where I could pivot and potentially be the first person on a new wave of player before he kind of hits that peak. And for me, that player, in terms that in the beginning of the year, of the season, I thought was really doing well, was Barrett. Now, he is the number 2 or maybe the 1B on that roster currently, with Julius Randle being the veteran who is predominantly scoring for them and taking on the load of the guy. However, I do believe RJ showed a lot of positive signs that first half of the year. Before, I think he sprained his ankle pretty badly. Before spraining his ankle, he had moments where he just looked like that next guy. In addition to that, I do play a lot of fantasy sports. I do kind of evaluate my sport card investing this kind of hand in hand with my fantasy evaluation. I look at upside. I kind of look at these cards as I do like a dynasty draft in a sense. And I definitely look at potential. I look at market. I look at a few other intangibles, which I will make a separate video kind of going into my full evaluation that I use, and all of my criteria, pros and cons that I use before thoroughly jumping into a player or an athlete and his cards. But that'll be probably next week. However, for this one, I just kind of wanted to show you what I've already been investing in, kind of show you directly the cards and the players that I am kind of going after. And as I'm sure you can guess, RJ is one of those guys. So let's see what we got. Let's be careful here. So this is a lot that I got on eBay. Got a really good price. Before Mosaic really started getting popular, I started tracking eBay. Instead of trying to pay $100 for a mega box, I started tracking on eBay to find the individual RJ cards, because when the product first launched, people were just unloading them for like $5, $4, $3 a piece. So it was really kind of a good time to buy into the Mosaic products. It was that first few days that it hit the shelves. So this is the Mosaic base. I already have, I think I have like 5 or 6 of these. I do keep track of everything in a spreadsheet that I will go over again next week in my investment video. But I like this lot. It's 5 cards. We got the Mosaic base. We have an Optic base, Optic Pink Hyper, really nicely centered. I'm definitely going to send this card into grade. It looks perfectly centered to me when I was looking at it on eBay, and it is in great shape. The corners are super clean as well. RJ Optic My House. I didn't really care for this card. However, I figured, with the other cards that I got, specifically the Origins jumbo patch, although it's not numbered, Origins in terms of aesthetic is one of my top 2 favorite products. I think that these cards, the graphic artwork that they did on them, are amazing. So I do have, I believe I have this, and I know I do, I have the Zion numbered to 49 in this too, and I really do like the Origin product a lot. It's really cool. So yeah, I think I paid for this small lot, I think I paid like $35, maybe less. I'll confirm and put a link on that as well. But not bad. Like I said, I got 3 base rookie cards, Mosaic, Optic, and the Optic Hyper Pink as well, and that Origin patch, which I think is really nice. I really enjoy that product a lot. Put those there. All right, let's see what the next one is. I have an idea of what all these cards are, but I haven't opened them, so we'll see. Yeah, this is nice. Number to 49, Select RJ Red Disco. I got this from a member on Blowout Cards, the forum. Again, I think this was the first one. We couldn't find any comps for this card. It hadn't sold yet on eBay, but it was one of those, like, when this product came out, that I again, knowing that I wanted to pivot from buying Zion, RJ was my guy, and I've kind of gone all in on RJ. But this is a really nice card, Red Disco. I will be sending this as well. I'm gonna obviously I need to take it out and closely identify and inspect the surface. But number to 49, got a really good price on this too. The guy was really nice. But yeah, it's just really, really cool. There aren't many of these. Obviously, there's only 49, but like, I think to date I checked and there's only one I've seen on eBay, and it was priced at $125, and I got this one for $80, which I'm pretty happy about. So already feel like that investment would pay off if I were to sell it today, but I'm definitely gonna get it graded before I do that. Let's see. This one. Really shipped this one nicely. Nice and protected. Secure. Sorry if that's so loud. Oh, I know what these are. So yeah. Boom. Or bang, Mike Breen style. 2 Zion PSA 10s, Prizm base. Again, I think by the time you guys are watching this video, I believe, his card has already started to shoot up. I got these about 2 weeks ago. I've obviously been holding a lot of my packages so I could do this mail day. I got them each for like $75 each. I paid $150 total, but I'm pretty sure this card's gonna be hitting like 100 to 120 in a couple weeks. Just as everyone's kind of realizing that, the Duke rookies had pretty good seasons, and it's not just the Zion and Josh show. And I mean, RJ is one of those guys that has been the top guy in that class since they were in middle school. And obviously Zion exploded onto the scene and Ja broke out in college. But I am, as I've been saying in past videos, I am all in on RJ Barrett. I have been trying to get good prices on his cards. I've been pretty actively searching for his cards all over, watching pricing on eBay. Definitely been watching the forums to see when people post for decent price, and this person posted quite a bit of PSA 10 rookies, and I jumped on the RJ as soon as I saw the price they were asking. It was a really nice price, so really happy to have those. Obviously, I have a pretty large amount of RJs that I am submitting, so it's nice to already have a couple 10s that I've invested in that I know will give me a nice return once the season picks back up, or once he really kind of opens up and blossoms next season for the Knicks. Let's see what this next one is. At least these people are shipping them very well protected. Whenever you're purchasing kind of high profile cards, expensive cards, you want them to be shipped properly and protected. So although it's a little more difficult to open, I do appreciate it. One more. Alrighty. There we go. And yeah, this is going to be the silver. So yeah, 9.5 BGS, RJ Barrett Prizm Silver. Not the best grades. Obviously, that Surface 9 is pretty difficult. However, I did get this for under $200, which for me, again, I do think that RJ is going to be one of the premier players out of this class, and I do think he's going to have a great career. And ideally, my mindset with these is that next year he will be able to fully take over the Knicks team as the man, and at that point I will probably unload them and then utilize that money and reinvest in another player. But I am really excited to get this card. I'm going to inspect it off camera to kind of see what type of surface errors it might have. But my idea with getting this card, since I got it for such a low price, was if I could not identify any major surface issues, I was going to resubmit this to PSA to try to get a PSA 10 out of it, which is a risk. However, that's the kind of card that, since I got such a great deal on it, I'm totally fine with that risk. Worst case scenario, I get a 9, break it open again, send it back to BGS and try to get the 9.5, or just sell it raw for the price that I paid for it originally and just wash my hands. But this next card is not an RJ Barrett. I know what it is because we haven't opened it yet, and it's one that I've been sitting on waiting. Those of you that don't know, I do play a lot of fantasy football. I am a huge Baltimore Ravens fan. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. I grew up a Colts fan. Went to a lot of Colts games, and ended up, getting the opportunity to sit next to Tony Siragusa and Rod Woodson's families when we were going to games, and really built a relationship with them. And when the Goose and Rod Woodson both were released, I think in '97, and got picked up, actually both signed with the Ravens, I kind of jumped ship as well. That was the first year after Peyton Manning was drafted there. The atmosphere in Colts games were a little different. Not the most highly aware fans in the country, to say that as politely as possible. So I ended up jumping ship in '97 to be a Ravens fan. Won a couple championships since then, and the only football cards I collect are Ed Reed cards and Lamar Jackson cards. So without further ado, this is the most expensive card I've personally ever paid for in terms of an individual card, but I am extremely happy to have it. It is not a perfect grade by any means, but it is my favorite Lamar Jackson card, and here we go. Bang! 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 Lamar Jackson Kaboom rookie card. It is a PSA 9, but to me, you know what? It's one of those cards that I thoroughly have wanted. I've wanted this card since I first saw it, and I've just been looking for a good deal. I ended up winning this as an actual true bid auction on eBay, and I sniped it at the end. I ended up paying just under $300 for this card, which some raw Kaboom rookie cards are selling for $350. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it. I probably will just leave it and just keep it as the PSA 9. Just as it's not a card that I'm really buying. It wasn't an investment by any means. It's just a card that I know will hold value for sure, as it's his rookie card. And it's such a rare card. Like, they're one per case, like one of these Kaboom cards per case. So in my opinion, I know that it's a safe buy. And it also just brings me a ton of emotional and satisfaction, which, not everyone in the sports card investor world says is a good idea. They obviously say it's a terrible thing to invest that way. But again, this isn't an investment for me. This is a PC card. This is a card that I know will only hold its value over time, and I'm extremely happy to have it. And so yeah. So in recap, I mean, this was with everything going on, being at home as much as I am, scouring the internet as much as I am, like a hawk. I've had a pretty good time, and I feel like I've gotten really lucky with some of the purchases I've made, that Lamar Jackson being one of the number one good deals that I feel like I've I've made, and I'm super happy to have it in my collection. The RJ Silver, I think, is going to be one of the best investments that I've made. The PSA 10s that I got for $75, like I guarantee I'm going to turn double, triple, maybe quad profit on those this time next year. And again, like I said, I will have an investment video that I have just how I track my cards, and I'll go over how I make my choice on what cards I'm investing in and purchasing. We also got the red disco number to 49. Really cool. Love the Select product. I think this product is, in my opinion, these are way better than Optic, and I just will be surprised if they don't overtake Optic in the long run. But Select, red disco, Optic, hyper pink, Optic base, mosaic base, my house, and then the Origins jumbo patch. So yeah, again, cards that I was able to buy low on, cards that I think specifically RJ Barrett, who I am fully all in on. As you can see, I also have probably 50 other cards of his that I've either acquired and not opened on camera. But I just kind of wanted to show you guys my method and kind of how much I am all in on RJ, as well as just, you know, another great mail day. Like, there's nothing better. That's one of the best things about this hobby, especially during this time, is just receiving packages every day. It's like, you know, I get a nice little gift every single day in the mail, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm glad I was able to open these for you guys. I'm glad I was able to show you how seriously I am investing into RJ Barrett, and I'm also glad that I could show you that Lamar Jackson Kaboom, which is without a doubt my favorite Lamar Jackson card that I own. But not only that I own, it's just in my opinion, the best Lamar Jackson card that you can get. So thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys watching. Please give me a like, give me a comment, subscribe. You know what? If you guys do all the 3 of those things, I'll pick one of you at random. I'll send out this My House RJ Barrett, and I'll also include this mosaic to go with it. So feel free to interact. Hopefully we can create a bigger conversation. And thanks again so much for your time, and I appreciate you guys watching. Peace.